Welcome to Nucleus, the podcast covering America's top leaders in business and culture. I'm your host, Tripwire. Today on the show, the bodybuilder turned action star who became the Governator, winning over California voters not once, but twice to lead the Golden State. Last week, Arnold Schwarzenegger turned 78 years old, and instead of quietly fading into retirement, he's still posting videos of himself crushing workouts at Gold's Gym, advocating for climate policy through his Schwarzenegger Institute, and dropping motivational bombs on social media to millions of followers. The man who arrived in America with $20 in his pocket and an unpronounceable last name has built an estimated $400 million empire spanning bodybuilding, Hollywood, and politics. But here's what makes Arnold's story relevant to you right now. He's the ultimate case study in strategic career reinvention. While most people are trying to figure out their first act, this guy dominated 3 completely different arenas using the same repeatable framework. And in today's economy, where the average person will have 12 to 15 jobs across multiple industries in their lifetime, understanding how Arnold systematically conquered bodybuilding, then Hollywood, then California's governorship isn't just inspiring. It's a masterclass in transferable success methodology. So who is Arnold Schwarzenegger beyond the catchphrases and biceps? He's the Austrian farm kid who became a 7-time Mr. Olympia champion, Hollywood's highest paid action star, pulling $25 to $30 million per film, and the 38th governor of California. He's also the guy who turned every supposed career killer, his accent, his bodybuilder physique, his lack of political experience, into competitive advantages. That's not luck. That's strategy. Let's rewind to 1947, Thal, Austria. Arnold grew up in post-war poverty so severe his family didn't have indoor plumbing. His father, a local police chief with a troubled past, wanted him to become a cop. Arnold had different plans. At 15, he saw a photo of British bodybuilder Reg Park in a magazine. Park had won Mr. Universe, became a movie star playing Hercules, made millions. Arnold literally wrote down that exact sequence as his life plan and executed it step by step. That's not youthful dreaming. That's reverse engineering a blueprint. At 18, he went AWOL from mandatory Austrian military service to compete in Junior Mr. Europe. Won the competition, got briefly imprisoned for desertion, but the army recognized his talent and built him a gym. By 20, he'd won Mr. Universe, youngest ever. This caught the attention of bodybuilding promoter Joe Weider, who brought him to America in 1968 with minimal English and even less money. Here's where most immigrant stories would focus on struggle. Arnold's different. He immediately started building wealth independent of bodybuilding. While training at Gold's Gym in Venice Beach, he and his training partner, Franco Colombo, started a bricklaying business. Their pitch? European bodybuilders will do your masonry. They turned their physiques and accents' supposed limitations into marketing advantages. Arnold used those earnings to buy apartment buildings in Santa Monica before real estate exploded. He became a real estate millionaire before he became a movie star. That's strategic thinking, not just hard work. The bodybuilding dominance came next. 7 Mr. Olympia titles from 1970 to 75, then one final victory in 1980. But the 1977 documentary, Pumping Iron, changed everything. It revealed Arnold's psychological warfare tactics, the mind games he played with competitors, the charisma, the showmanship. He convinced rival Lou Ferrigno to eat more before competition, knowing it would make him less defined. He smiled during poses while others grimaced, making superiority look effortless. The film made bodybuilding mainstream, and positioned Arnold as more than an athlete. He was a personality. Hollywood told him to change his name to Arnold Strong, lose the accent, hide his bodybuilding background. He refused everything. Early roles were disasters. His first film dubbed over his voice entirely. But Conan the Barbarian in 1982 proved his commercial viability, and The Terminator in '84 made him a global icon with only 18 lines of dialogue. When action films got stale, he pivoted to comedy with Twins and Kindergarten Cop, proving adaptability. When that formula wore thin, he made the most audacious move yet. 2003, California's recall election. Gray Davis was getting booted as governor, and Arnold announced his candidacy. Not at a press conference, but on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Zero political experience, 15 women accused him of inappropriate behavior during the campaign. He won anyway, with 48% of the vote, inheriting a $38 billion budget deficit and complete political gridlock. His first term was rough. He called a special election in 2005 to push reforms. All 4 ballot measures failed, wasting $50 million in taxpayer money. But here's the pivot that defines his leadership. He fired his Republican advisors and hired Susan Kennedy, a Democrat, as chief of staff. He abandoned partisan warfare for bipartisan collaboration. His second term passed landmark climate legislation, AB 32, the Global Warming Solutions Act, that made California a climate leader and influenced national policy. He left office with a complicated legacy. Fiscal challenges remained, but he'd proven a celebrity outsider could govern effectively. Then came 2011. His marriage to Maria Shriver ended when it was revealed he'd fathered a child with their housekeeper 14 years earlier. Career over, right? Wrong. He rebuilt through transparency, humor, and social media authenticity. He publicly reconciled with his son Joseph. They work out together. He posts about it. He turned scandal into humanization. So what can we learn from Arnold's systematic domination across 3 impossible careers? 3 principles stand out, and they're backed by serious business frameworks. First lesson, turn limitations into differentiation. Every casting director told Arnold his accent was a career killer. His bodybuilder physique was too extreme. His name was unpronounceable. He weaponized all of it. The accent became his signature, made him instantly recognizable. The physique created a unique category where he had no competition. The name stayed authentic when everyone wanted Arnold Strong. This aligns with Blue Ocean strategy from INSEAD professors Kim and Mo Bourne. Don't compete in red oceans where everyone fights over the same space. Create uncontested market space where your supposed weaknesses become inimitable strengths. Arnold didn't try to be a traditional leading man because Redford and Newman owned that space. He created the bodybuilder action hero category and dominated it completely. Application for you. Stop sanding off your edges to fit conventional molds. Your weird background, your unconventional experience, your accent or age, or whatever you think disqualifies you. That might be your only sustainable competitive advantage in a crowded market. Differentiation trumps perfection. Second lesson, sequential focus, not simultaneous diversification. Arnold didn't juggle bodybuilding and acting and politics at once. He dominated bodybuilding completely before transitioning to acting. He focused on acting for 2 decades before entering politics. Each mastery became leverage for the next arena. This contradicts the modern hustle culture that glorifies doing 12 things simultaneously. Peter Drucker's research on effectiveness shows that great leaders do first things first and second things not at all. Arnold's approach was platform leverage. Use complete domination in one field to build credibility and resources for the next. His bodybuilding fame opened Hollywood doors. His Hollywood celebrity made political candidacy viable. His governorship enhanced his legacy beyond entertainment. Application: resist premature diversification. Master your current arena, build that platform fully, then use it to expand. Success stacks when you sequence it properly. Doing 3 things at 70% effectiveness gets you nowhere. Doing one thing at 100% effectiveness creates options. Third lesson: vision plus repetition infrastructure. Arnold didn't just visualize success. He built systematic repetition around vision. 5-hour daily training sessions, 6 days per week, for years. Not when motivated, always. He watched films repeatedly to study acting, practiced speeches endlessly. This matches Carol Dweck's growth mindset research. Talent matters less than deliberate practice systems. Arnold's framework was simple: clear vision of outcome, reverse engineer required actions, execute relentlessly, adjust tactics while maintaining strategic goal. He visualized his Mr. Olympia victory in extreme detail before achieving it, saw himself on stage, holding trophy, everything. Then built the daily behavioral infrastructure to make that vision inevitable. Vision without execution is hallucination. Most people have goals. Few build the repetition systems that make goals automatic, rather than dependent on fleeting motivation. Application: match your ambitious vision with equivalent behavioral infrastructure. If your goal is building a $50 million company, what does your daily calendar look like? If it doesn't reflect that goal in concrete actions, you're daydreaming, not executing. Here's the meta lesson that connects everything. Arnold understood the job he was hired to do in each arena. In bodybuilding, audiences hired him for inspiration and aspiration. He delivered maximum size and confidence. In film, audiences hired him for escapism and spectacle. He delivered action and catchphrases, not nuanced drama. In politics, voters hired him for outsider reform. He delivered bipartisan results in his second term. This is Clayton Christensen's Jobs to be Done framework from Harvard Business School. People don't want products or leaders, they want progress in their lives. Arnold consistently delivered the progress each constituency wanted, even when it meant ignoring what he personally wanted to provide. So what's the bottom line from Arnold's 78 years of systematic reinvention? 3 quick hits. First, your limitations are probably your only defensible competitive advantages. Stop hiding them and weaponize them instead. Second, dominate sequentially, not simultaneously. Master one platform completely, then leverage it to the next. Third, build repetition infrastructure around your vision, because motivation is temporary, but systems are permanent. The real question Arnold's career poses to you: are you trying to compete in someone else's category, or are you building your own? Because in a world where AI is commoditizing skills and globalization is commoditizing labor, the only sustainable advantage is being inimitably yourself. Accent, weird background, unconventional path, and all. Arnold proved you don't need to be the best actor or the most qualified politician. You need to be the only one who does what you do the way you do it. That's not inspiration. That's strategy. Thank you for listening to Nucleus. You can show our podcast team some love with 5 stars and a follow. Stay hungry, stay foolish.
Grab news. Thomas.